Hello, and welcome to my Pre-Algebra review series. This video covers Chapter 6, Section 5, titled Fractions, Decimals, and Percents. By the end of this section, you will have reviewed the procedures for writing percents as fractions and decimals, and writing decimals as fractions and percents, including a real-world problem of converting fractions to decimals. Please leave a like if you find this video to be helpful. Give your classmates a heads up too. It will more than likely help them, and it certainly will help this channel to be seen by more students. If you'd like me to cover any of these topics in greater detail, please leave a comment in the comment section below. I read them and do my best to answer each as time permits. Please subscribe to my channel and ring the bell icon to be notified every time I release a new video. Thank you. So let's get into it. Okay, let's start with the definition. A percent. A percent is a ratio that compares a number to 100. Therefore, you can write a percent as a fraction with the denominator equal to 100. So, objective 1 for writing percents as fractions and decimals. A percent is a ratio. We just read this. I'll do it again. A percent is a ratio that compares a number to 100. Therefore, you can write a percent as a fraction as with the denominator of 100. So if you wrote 65%, you can write that as 65 over 100. Okay? 65 over 100 times 100. And that would be 65%. But the fraction they're talking about ends up being, when you divide this 65 divided by 100, it ends up being 0.65. There's the decimal version. If you multiply this by 100, you get 65%. 0.65 times 100 is equal to 65, and then we'll say percent. Okay, so we're going to see more of that in this section here. Okay, example 1, write a percent as a fraction. Okay, and we just went over that a little bit, but here we go. We're going to try it. We're going to write 5% as a fraction. So we're going to take, it's just as easy as I showed in the last slide. We're going to take the 5 from the 5%, and we're going to divide it by 100. And that is equal, that's 5%. And we can reduce this. We can divide 5 into itself and have a 1, and 5 into 100 and have 20. So that 1/20th is the ratio here, okay? So this is a fraction. We wrote this percentage as a fraction. Not a mixed number, but as a fraction. How about B? 125 divided by 100. And what is that equal to? That is, there's your fraction. That's the percent as we're written as a fraction. And we're going to solve this, we're going to divide 100 into 125, and we're going to get 1 time. And how many is remaining? 100 goes into 125 one time with 25 remaining. So there's, 25 over 100. So 1 and 25 100ths. But this is not in the lowest terms. We can reduce this. So this is going to be 1. 25 goes into 100. 25 into itself goes 1 time. 25 goes into 100 4 times. The answer is 1 and 1/4 mixed as a mixed number. So we just wrote a percentage as a mixed number. Okay? Okay, example 1, check your understanding. Directions, write each percentage as a fraction or a mixed number. And this is your turn. Go ahead and pause. When you come back, we'll try to do these. Okay, now that you're back, let's give it a shot. So all we're going to do is we're going to take 58 in problem A, 58, and divide it by 100. 58 over 100, that's this percent written as a fraction. Not going to write it as a mixed number because the numerator is not larger than the denominator. But we could reduce it. We could divide the 58 by 2 and get 29, right? Could be equal to 29 50ths. Okay, I'll write that a little better, excuse me. 29 50ths. That's a little more legible. Sorry. Okay, how about 72%? 72% is 72 divided by 100. And can we reduce this at all? Yeah, we can divide 72 by 4. 72 divided by 4 is 18 over 25. Still no mixed numbers. This next one is, I can see it's 144%, so it's going to be greater than 1. So we're going to write 144 divided by 100. That's the fraction right there. We could reduce this too, by the way, but we could take 4 into 100 or whatever the case might be. But let's just go ahead and let's do the conversion to a mixed number first. 100 goes into 144, 1 and 44 over 100. Okay? And you can divide, what can we divide into 44 that we can divide into 100? We can divide a 4 into 44 and 4 into 100. So we're going to have 1 and 4 divided by 44. 44 divided by 4 is 11. And 100 divided by 4 is 25. So 44 100ths, 101 and 11 25ths, 144 over 100. Those are all basically acceptable, but they want it in fraction or mixed number form. So here we're giving it to them all of it to them. Here we go. Example 2. Write a percent as a decimal. Let's see what this talks about here. To write a percent as a decimal, write the percent as a fraction with a denominator of 100. Okay? Then divide to convert the fraction to a decimal. So let's try it. So we're going to write 9.7. See what comes out here. 9.7 divided by 100. So what's that going to be? So we're going to divide 9.7 by 100. What does that give us? We're leaving it as a decimal. So we're going to move the decimal place 2 zeros, right? That's how this works. You go 2 zeros. From here, you go 1, 2 to the left. So we're going to end up with 0.097. That's the answer, 0.097. We took the 100 and you move the decimal point to get to 1 on the bottom, which gives us 2 zeros. So we start at the decimal point here and go 1, 2, put the decimal point, you add a 0 in there, put a 0 in front. It's the same number. There's the answer. Okay, example 2A. There must be another slide because there must be a B coming up anyways. Check your understanding. Directions, write each percent as a decimal. And this is your turn. So I'll wait. You pause. When you come back, we'll do them together. We'll check yours out and we can do them together. Okay, now that you're back, let's try 16%. Written as a decimal. So we're going to write 16 divided by 100. Okay? And that equals what? So 16 divided by 100 is the same as, we're going to move the decimal point 2 times to the left. So from 16, from the 6 to the 1. Okay, so we're going to go 0.16. That is 16 100ths. And you could say that just this way too. 16 100ths. Okay, there's that one. How about B? We're going to write 62.5 over 100. And when we do that, we're going to get what? We're going to move the decimal point to divide by 100. We move the decimal point 2 places to the left, and it's going to be equal to 0.625. Okay, there's our answer, 0.625. 120% written as a decimal. 120 divided by 100 is equal to, move the decimal point 2 places, 1, 2, 1.2, we can leave the 0 on or off, we'll put the 0 back on, 1.20. is the answer. Decimal. 1.20 decimal is 120 hundredths. Okay? Okay, here's example 2b. We were wondering where that went. Check your understanding. Write each percent as a decimal. It's basically the same instructions. And you're going to do it on your own, hopefully. And pause the video. When you get back, we'll do it together. So, now that you're back, it says about 45% of the people in the United States have type O blood type. Write the percentage as a decimal and as a fraction in simplest form. Oh, well, let's see what that comes out to. So we're going to write, where'd my pen go? There it is. 45 divided by 100. To write it in as a decimal, I'm just going to say 45 over 100 is 0.45. And I did that by moving the decimal point here 2 times. And that's how I got because 2 times, because there's 2 zeros in 100. Okay, so that's that. Now they say, second, write it as a fraction in simplest forms. Well, 45 over 100, we got to get something that will divide into 45 and into 100. So what do we have? We can divide, let's see, 5 into 45, and that would equal, let me put an equal sign here. If we put 5 into 5, we're going to get 9. 5 times 9 is 45. And 100 divided by 5 is 20. Can't take this any further because 20 is 10 and 2 and 5 and 4, and 9 is 9 and 3 and 3 and 1. So we're done. So here's your fraction in lowest terms, and here's your decimal, 45. Objective 2, writing decimals and fractions as percents. To write a decimal as a percent, rewrite the decimal as a fraction with a denominator of 100. Then write the fraction as a percent. Another way is to change a decimal to a percent is to move the decimal point 2 places to the right and then just add the percentage sign. So let's get into that. Okay, example 3, writing a decimal as a percentage. So write 0.333 as a percentage. Okay, what we're going to have to do then is we're going to have to multiply, in essence, multiply this by 100. And let's see, so method 1 was rewrite as a fraction. So here it is. 0.333 rewritten as a fraction is 333 over 1,000. Because you have hundredths, so you have to one more zero than the 100. You have hundredths in the top, and you have to have thousands as the denominator. If this was 1,000 up here, you'd have 10,000 in the denominator. So that's going to equal to, well, we have to do something to get this to 33.3. Right now it's 333 over 1,000. So in order to do that, we're going to divide the numerator, 333 divided by 10, divided by 1,000. Divided by 10. And that gives us then, finally, 333 divided by 10 is 33.3. Divided by 1,000 divided by 10 is 100. Now we're in exactly the form we want to be in. And now they say change the 100. 33.3, swap the 100 for a percent sign. Okay? And for the other method, move the decimal point 2 places to the right. 0.333 is equal to, move the decimal point 2 places to the right, equals to 33.3. And once you do that, then it says add a percent sign. Done. Okay, example 3, check your understanding. Directions, write each decimal as a percent. Same thing we just did in the previous slide. It's your turn. Pause. Okay, are you back? Let's go ahead with it. So now we're going to write 0.4. We're going to write that as a decimal. So it said we can do, doesn't say what method to use. So which method do you choose to use? Well, this one here, let's try method 2, which is move the decimal point 2 places to the right. Here we're going to add a 0, and that gives us 40. And it says when you do that 2 places to the right, add a percentage. Okay, how about this one? 0.023. We're going to convert that to a percentage. So let's just do that. Let's go ahead, and what we want to do then is let's go ahead and divide this by 100. And if we divide this by 100, we're going to have to multiply times 100. And when you multiply this by 100, you're going to get, I'll just write it right here. You're going to get, move the decimal point 2 points. You're going to get 2.3 over 100. And isn't that exactly what they said we have to do? Now we replace the 100 with the percent sign. So your answer is going to be 2.3%. Let's try this one. 1.75. 1.75. We can do either one of choice here. Let's go ahead and do method 1, which is we're going to go ahead and write 1.75 over 100 times 100, because you can multiply the top and the bottom without disturbing this number. And when we do that, okay, this 100 is going to go times this, so it's going to end up being equal to 175. And then we're going to over 100. And then that's going to be, we're going to drop the 100, and we're going to be 175%. And the other method to use was 1.75. It says move the decimal place 2 places over to the right. We moved them twice, puts the decimal point here at 175. And now when we do this moving of the decimal point, we have to add a percentage. Example 4, a real-world problem we're going to solve here. It says write a fraction as a percentage. Divide the numerator by the denominator. Then convert the decimal quotient to a percent. Okay. 5 out of 16 families in the United States own dogs. 5 out of 16. What percentage of families owns dogs? So 5 out of 16, which would mean we'd say 5 out of 16 own dogs. What percentage of families own dogs? So in order to do this, we're going to have to take 5 and divide it by 16. Okay, so let's try that. We're going to say 5, here's long division, 5 divided by 16. Let's give it a try. Well, 16 won't go into 5, but it will go into 50. So we're going to put the decimal point right there. 16 goes into 50 how many times? It's 48, right? So it goes in there 3 times. 3. 3 times 6 is 18. Carry the 1. 3 times 1 is 3, plus 1 is 4. 48. 50 minus 48, we're going to subtract it. 50 minus 48 is 2. And will 16 go into 2? It's a remainder, so we're not complete. No, it will not. So we're going to bring down another 0. I'm going to add a 0. I'm going to add a little bit of extra line out here. Bring down the 0. Does 16 go into 20? Yes, it does. 1 time. 1 times 6 is 6. 1 times 1 is 1. 20 minus 16 is 4. Does 16 go into 4? No. Bring down a 0. Does 16 go into 40? Yes. How many times? 2 times. 16 times 16 is 30. Not 16 times. 16 times 2, excuse me, is 36. Oh, no, 32 rather. Excuse me. You can't even add or multiply. 32. So it's going to go in here 2 times. 2 times 16 is 32. 40 minus 32 is 8. Bring down the 0. Bring down the 0. So we're going on and on and on, right? So 16 into 80, well, it's still another percentage, right? So now we're going to end up with, I guess we should find out if we're going to round this or not. 16 is going to goes into 42 times. Into 80, it's going to go 4 times. 40 and 24, let's say 4 times. Okay. So if it does 4 times, it's 4 times 6 is 24. Carry the 2, 64. Oh, it goes in exactly. Look at 80, so it's going to go in exactly. It's going to go in 5 times. I'm going to erase this now that I've done it. I see I'm going to erase this, and I'm going to change this to 80. Okay, go back to the writing mode. And it's going to go 5 times. 5 times 6 is 30. Carry the 3. 5 times 1 is 5. Plus 3 is 80. So we're now at 0. Okay, I hope you can see that. I got scrunched down in the bottom here. So here's our number. Now that I want us to, they say, write this as, and convert the decimal quotient to a percentage. So now we want to convert this 0.3125 into a percentage, and that will be equal to 0.3125 converted to a percentage. We're going to multiply by 100 and divide by 100. When we do that, we're going to get 0. Well, we don't need the 0 anyway, sorry. We're going to get 3, 1. We move the decimal point twice. 25 divided by 100. And then they say we have to just remove the 100 and replace it with a percent sign. So that is 31.25%. We removed the 100 and replaced it with a percent sign right there. So there it is. Here's the answer. About 31%, I guess. 31. Does it say to round it? Okay, convert to a percent. Well, I can just say 31. Let's just say 31 because it's 31.2. So about or approximate. It says about. So there it is. About 31%. Okay, example 4. Check your understanding. It's your turn. Solve it just like we did the last one. I'll pause and wait for you. Okay, now that you're back, let's give it a shot. 3 out of 11 families in the United States own cats. To the nearest percent, what percent of families own cats? Well, let's try it out. So we have 3 out of 11. 3/11ths in the United States own cats. So now we want to convert this to a percentage. So we're going to take the 3. We're going to say 3 divided by 11. I'm going to put a decimal point right there and at least a 0 because I know the 11 is not going into the 3. The 11 will go into 30. So that's a good place to start. So 11 goes into 30 how many times? 2 times. 2 times 11 is 22. 30 minus 22 is 8. 8 cannot be divided by 11, so we're going to bring down another 0, adding a 0. 11 goes into 80 how many times? Well, it's at least 7, because 7 times 11 is 77, so we're going to put a 7 here. So 7 times 11 is 77. Minus 80 minus 77 is 30, or 3. We're going to bring down another 0, because guess why? Because we know 11 won't go into 3. 11 will go into 30. How many times? It's going to go in there 2 times. And 2 times 11 is 22. And 30 minus 22 is 8. And guess what? We've done this before, haven't we? We can see right now that this is 30, 22, 80, 77, 30, 22, 80. 11 goes into 80 7 times. 7 times 11 is 77. Minus here's 3. Bring down the 0. It goes over and over. So it's 27, 27, 27, 27 is what the answer is going to be. So this is a repeating number. 27 will repeat forever. So since this repeats forever, we're going to now convert this number to a percentage. And we're going to approximate to the nearest percent, not the exact, but the nearest. So the nearest one is going to be an even percentage number. So we're going to get 27. Okay, 27. I guess I could say that's 0.27, by the way. 27, if we want to do that. And we're going to multiply and divide. Multiply by 100 and divide by 100. If you do something to the bottom, you got to do it to the top, or vice versa. So now we get, as an answer here, we get 27.27. I can say repeating. That's what that dashed line is repeating. And that's divided by 100. And what does the book say? It says that when we have, if you want to create this fraction, you take the percentage and divide it by 100. We're going to go ahead and we've got the 100, we're going to remove the 100. So that means we've multiplied by the 100. So now the percentage here is we're going to replace this with the percentage sign. That equals 27. And they said approximately to the nearest percent. 0.2 takes us down. So 0.2 is 27%. So the answer here is 27%. You did a good job, I'm sure.